Hey, good morning. I'm here with my friend Kat Feltman, and we are in Tucson, Arizona. I won't tell you the exact location, but they sell coffee here. Kat, how are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. Woke up early, went for a pretty long walk, walking someone else's dogs, and it's a beautiful day in Tucson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's a little humid, right?
Yeah, it is. And there's no breeze today, which, you know, in the desert, that's kind of a luxury.
And so, are you a Tucson? No, you're an Arizona native.
I'm an Arizona native. I grew up in northern Arizona,
Okay.
born in Phoenix. And then my dad worked traveling road crew for the phone company
Oh,
back when it was like Mountain Bell. And then it became US West. And then over the evolution. And he retired with them after 40 something years. So they
wow.
relocated him to Prescott when I was a young girl, like two.
Wow.
But it was fun because my mom, would load up the kids in the middle of the night in our station wagon or whatever, and then go find like wherever they had my dad put up.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was like Yarnell,
Oh my
Flagstaff,
God.
all over the place. So
Wow.
as kids, we got to like hang out in hotels, which we thought was just like going to Disneyland.
Yeah, this
Mm.
is big stuff.
It is, oh man, the memories,
Wow,
really
that's
cool stuff.
amazing.
Yeah,
And so Kat, you went to Embry-Riddle,
I
is that
did.
correct?
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you graduated like
I didn't graduate from Embry Riddle. I graduated high school really young, and I had some time to kill, like before college, and
mhm.
so I got a job at Embry Riddle, and that's when I got like really sensational about like the things that they were studying and doing there.
Yeah.
So kind of all of like the STEM stuff and
What was your
aerospace, and
job?
I worked the switchboard and security.
That is awesome.
So yeah, I was kind of like on a walkie-talkie all day,
Yeah.
and our security guys are running around in golf carts, and so
Wow.
yeah. But
Cool.
I also, got to do a lot of fun like alumni celebrations and stuff
Oh,
like that. I was young, 17 years old, and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, let me go coordinate this bartending thing over here.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I
Yeah,
love that.
so that was fun. But no, I didn't graduate in Brevittle. I ended up joining the military before I graduated.
Yeah. And then what why the Air Force? I'm not the Air Force, the Army. Like why did you choose to go in the service?
Uh, Kind of like on a whim. I had a high school friend, and she had like a police officer, family,
Hmm.
and that's what she wanted to do, was join the army and become a military police.
Okay.
And so I went with her, just as like a sidekick, to talk to the recruiter. Yeah, and the rest is history. They sucked me in.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if this is true in every state, but in Arizona, they have all the high school kids take like an aptitude test.
Yeah.
And that's like right around like your junior year. And that is specifically for military service.
Oh my God,
And
I didn't
so,
know that.
yeah, they
Wow.
start young. They're like, oh, let's create our future workforce while
Wow.
they're still in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do that, but it does seem kind of intrusive when you're, in the middle of your
Totally.
school day and you've got
Yeah.
recruiters on campus. Yeah. But yeah, I always was kind of liberal minded and wasn't very like gung ho military, even though my dad's Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
Um, Nope, here comes the train. Should we keep talking through it, or should we
I don't know
pause?
if we can. Okay, we're back. So we got interrupted by a train, and here we are. So Embry Riddle, you went to school there,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't graduate. You joined the military.
Joined the military. Didn't mean to. Yeah, was there to kind of accompany a friend, and yeah, they roped me in.
Yeah.
This is how they did it, right? So they had this linguist position that I qualified for, and they said all you have to do is sign up for 4 months or 4 years, and 2 of those years are going to be spent on the beach in California learning a foreign language. And I said,
Don't take the bait.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Monterey, which is where the language school is, was one of the, best times of my life. It really
Aw.
was. You're a kid, you have no money,
Yeah.
but you're living in a really ritzy area
Yeah.
with no living expenses.
Yeah.
And
And you get a paycheck.
and you get a paycheck, and you're learning something really cool from really, really wonderful teachers. And it wasn't like a heavy military atmosphere. It was more of like an academic atmosphere. So it kind
Wow.
of felt like just going to college
Wow.
on the beach.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a
And
good job. It was a
so,
really good
how
job.
many languages do you speak?
So fluently, just like three, and then I dabble in a few just because I love languages.
Oh, what are they?
So Arabic is what I learned for the military,
Okay.
and then grew up in the Spanish-speaking home, so Spanish was just kind of like easy, you
Yeah.
know. I'm not fluent, but I'm pretty conversational, I'd say. And then I lived in Germany for a long time with the army, so I learned German as well.
Yeah.
And then just from connections, other linguists, Russian, a little Korean.
Wow, that's so freaking cool.
It's not that cool.
It's
What would
totally
be
cool.
cool
What
is
are
if
you
I could
talking
go
about?
like live in those countries for a couple months and like get really, really good.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be ideal.
Yeah. Well, like you, my dad was, your mom was Mexican, right?
Yes.
Yeah. My dad was Mexican. My mom's
Yeah.
Caucasian. But
Hmm.
when I joined the army, I went to Germany. So I speak more German than I
Hmm.
speak Spanish.
Right.
And my grandparents were always on my dad. Why are you teaching your kids, Spanish? And my
Yeah.
dad, he just didn't do it.
It's interesting. Kids don't typically learn language from their fathers. They learn from their mom. And so
Really?
basically, whatever your mom's languages are, that's what the kids are going to learn. I'm not saying that's true in all cases. I'm just saying, in my
Yeah.
experience and knowing a lot of linguists, like you learn to speak from your mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so, okay, so once you joined the military,
Hmm.
like, where did you go? So you went to California, and then where after
Yeah,
that?
California language school, and then I my first duty station was in Germany,
Okay.
and so yeah, showed up in Frankfurt, Germany, at like a depot station, and
Yeah.
had no idea where they were sending me.
Yeah. Is that the one where Elvis had gone?
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah, probably,
Yeah.
and consequently where my father had gone too when he was in the
Wow.
army.
So cool.
30, 40 years before me. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, Germany was a really good time. It was
Yeah.
really beautiful culture and country and
Yeah.
um, different way of doing things. I would like to
Totally.
say Arizona, particularly, we're a lot more like live and let live, don't get in other people's business,
For sure.
be super polite,
Yeah.
help people when they need it.
Yeah.
Germany is a bit more stoic.
Totally.
It takes you a long time to crack their code on how to interact with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I lived in Germany multiple times for several years, probably over 10 years total. I
Wow.
still don't have one German friend.
Wow.
Never cracked the code.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Germany. I love
Yeah.
being there. The culture. I love being able to just jump on the train and go anywhere.
Yes.
And like you could get on the train and just go into Frankfurt,
Yeah.
and then from there you could, if you wanted to fly out or you wanted to, I mean, it was so great.
The travel opportunity in Central Europe is amazing.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not like, going from Arizona to New Mexico. It's like going to a whole nother
country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole nother world.
Yeah.
With different food, different way of dressing, different way of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were good times for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then you got out of service and you moved back to Arizona, or you came to Fort Huachuca, or how did that
Yeah,
work?
that's basically how it worked. I wanted to just go back to school for, grad school when I got back from the army. So I went back to California for a little while, back to Monterey. There's an international institute there, right in downtown Monterey, and so I went there for, I don't know, a good summer. I went through a summer program there, and then I got offered a job actually in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Okay.
So I spent a few years in Cuba.
Wow.
More
How
than a
cool
few.
Is that?
I was there for more than 4 years actually.
Wow.
Using my Arabic language skills and helping with the detainee operations that were down there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kat, you're so interesting. So I actually rent one of Kat's houses in southern Arizona, and let me just say, Kat is an amazing human being, and her home, her house is just like off the hook. It is just the best place I could have ever picked to live.
Well, Sandy's made it that way.
Yeah.
All right. It was a work in progress and had a lot of potential, and then Sandy moved in and she's like, hold my beer, and she whipped it into shape, and so
Yeah.
now it is truly a paradise fit for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
But Sonoyta is such a kick-ass community,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
really is. And
Yeah.
and you're exactly right about people just leave you alone here. If you need help, they'll
Hmm.
show up. You know, I'm like
Yeah,
your neighbors will help you.
but it's not like a correction culture where
Right.
they're like, you can't walk there, or you can't park there, or
Right.
you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Where Germany is very much a correction culture, and
Yeah.
so be prepared as a foreigner in Germany to get corrected a lot.
Right. Exactly. Germany and France. In
Yeah.
France, they just won't talk to you.
And Sandy and I are people that just love to be told what to do. We just live for it, right?
Yeah. It's funny because Kat and I were at another coffee shop a week ago or so, and the guy at the counter called me ma'am. And in the military, in the army, we call officers ma'am. Um, and I looked at the guy and I said, "Don't call me ma'am," because the next line is, "Don't call me ma'am. I work for a living."
Right, right.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, any woman over 40 that gets mammed by somebody, it's like, oh, hello.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
So,
so I wanted to circle back to, so I know that you went downrange when
yes.
you were in service,
Yep.
and you were exposed to different elements of war.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so, how do you manage your PTSD?
Uh, Initially, it was actually recognizing that I had a problem. Um, I think for the longest time, and this is something you learn in the military, is to just kind of like mask your ailments. There's a lot of stigma attached to being broken, whether physically or emotionally or whatever. And so, first step is just, being like, I'm not as healthy as I could be.
Yeah.
And then reaching out to our local VA hospital, which has an excellent women's center. And they've always given me fantastic care. And yeah, starting with some counseling, talking to them about my symptoms, talking to them about getting, disability rating,
Yeah.
um, which is a nice kind of monthly stipend to help you manage, your medical costs, because there's some. Um, the way I manage it today is I do take an anti-anxiety medication, just low dose once every day, and I try to treat myself well as far as getting massages, getting chiropractic adjustments, sleeping when I need to sleep, recognizing when I'm getting kind of anxious and tense.
So,
Mhm.
first of all, thank you for your service,
Thank you for yours.
of course. And so, do you feel like do you have familiar, like, does your family help support you in that, or
No, no, they don't have time
yeah,
for other people's issues.
yeah,
I mean, my family right now consists of just like my mom and my brother. We lost my dad a couple years ago. But I would say in my family, it's more like, you take care of your side of the street and don't bother us with your stuff.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know necessarily that that's a bad thing,
Yeah, but
because,
still, I mean, it's really lonesome when you're dealing with stuff and you need help, or someone just to tell you everything's gonna be all right.
yeah, but you find your chosen family instead.
That's true.
And I have amazing, amazing mentors and friends and people that have served with me, people that have, you know, cried with me and bled with me and all those things. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I lean when I need it. But yeah, it was kind of a shock because, I was feeling good. Everything's going hunky dory, no problems, retired, living the life, feeling like, lady of leisure.
Yeah.
And then I accepted an invite to go to Indonesia on kind of a group trip.
Hmm.
And I knew like two people in the group, but it was a group of like almost like 12 people.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows or experiences anxiety realizes, that groups are not ideal.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the middle of that trip, and we're in paradise, and we're all having a great time. And yeah, I had like a full blown panic attack in the middle of a van, surrounded by strangers.
Oh my God.
And it was a wake up call that, like, when I came home, I was like, I'm a little more sensitive than I thought I was,
Yeah.
and there's no shame in that.
No shame at all.
And so, you just make sure you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I manage. And then I always just kind of like make peace with, feelings are just feelings. And if you give it 90 seconds, it's probably going to pass.
Yeah.
You don't have to get stuck there.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Really, it's not that easy to talk about. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like talking about everything. There's no like
Okay.
sacred cow with me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, well, I was also a veteran, and I also have PTSD,
Mhm.
and I have really struggled. In my younger years, I struggled a lot, and I would have panic attacks, and I mean, it could have been triggered by anything. It could have been triggered by the smell of a cigarette, or it could have been
Wow.
a loud bang, or it could have been
Yeah.
multiple things. And
Mhm.
part of my PTSD is military sexual trauma.
Mhm.
I was a Humvee mechanic,
Mhm.
and when I went to Germany, I was the only female that was in the motor pool with,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 guys, and it was tough. I was sexually assaulted by every boss I ever had in the military, and I went in when I was 17,
Mhm.
and you know, I just thought this is what happens. This is the way it is. And then I got out of service, and I was still having violent attacks. It was like a tornado met a volcano,
Yeah.
and I don't know why, but I started going to counseling, and it turns out because I had a really traumatic childhood as well,
Mhm.
so they diagnosed me with complex PTSD from childhood and the military.
Right.
And so it's a process. You don't get over PTSD, you learn to manage it.
Right.
And so for me, the thing is it's I've done a lot of different work and a lot of different modalities that have helped me along the way, but you still manage it.
Yeah. You know, I wish that there was a way to get better, and we just have to kind of like be okay with knowing that it's not going to go away.
Right.
It can be managed, but there's no way to cure yourself.
Yeah.
Just like anybody who's grown up in volatile situations or abusive situations or whatever, to pretend that you're not affected and to, think that your mind and body are working optimally is, completely too optimistic, right?
Okay. Train break.
Train break.
Okay, we're back. So we keep turning it off and on because the train comes by and you can't really hear the audio.
As much as we love the train,
Yeah, we love
she's
the
a
train.
noisy beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing about your PTSD. I feel like it's such an important message, and I feel like it's important to talk about it.
It is, and it's also important, specifically for veterans, that you get recognized by the VA for these symptoms and the things that you struggle with, because they have amazing resources that you are entitled to.
Yeah.
And too many people, they carry around that stigma of, like, I can't appear broken in any way. It's weak.
Yeah.
It's nobody's got time for my problems. Kind of like how I said my family, but yeah, don't suffer. Don't suffer.
Yeah. The other thing is you may have symptoms and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Like if you have trouble sleeping, if you find yourself in crowds and all of a sudden you have anxiety, I would just encourage you to get curious about that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel like something is not right, talk to somebody, talk to a counselor. If you're a veteran, there's lots of places that you can go and call and be, and just, take care of yourself, please.
Yeah. And getting a service connected disability through the VA is a huge game changer.
Mm-hmm.
It allowed me to retire earlier you have kind of some guaranteed income coming in. It's
Mhm.
not enough to live on, but it's definitely enough to get medical help.
For sure. And depending on what you get diagnosed with, like I think it's a 50% disability where all your medical is paid, and that's inclusive of mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So, please explore and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
So there was, some combat trauma involved, um, but a lot of the traumas that people face, particularly women, happen back in the garrison, not necessarily in a deployed environment. Sometimes it's just baked into the everyday
yeah,
experience of their service.
yeah,
And I always thought, while serving is noble and great, and I would never talk someone out of it,
right,
I am always kind of hesitant to recommend it, particularly for like the women in my family,
yeah.
because as much as they'd like to think that they've come a long way, um, I think it's been the same story since the beginning, you know.
And Kat and I were just talking about this off camera, but the trauma is not just caused by men.
Mm-hmm.
Kat and I have both been assaulted by women as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's layered. It's
Mm-hmm.
multifaceted. Yeah,
Yeah, but uh, not every day was terrible,
right.
and I had amazing, amazing time
Yeah,
learning, uh, attaching myself to people that were far more brilliant than I could ever be,
yeah,
and
and adventurous.
yeah,
Yeah,
you see the world, you experience other cultures, you push yourself to do things that you never in a million years thought you could,
yeah,
and
it's true.
I do appreciate, number one, that I did it when I was young,
Yeah,
because damn, the body hurts these days, but so happy in my 20s and 30s, it was, a very kind of physical and interactive job,
yeah,
because yeah, I think it's important. I wish American culture would kind of glorify the dirty jobs again, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not everybody needs to go to university. A lot of people should just learn a trade.
for
There's
sure.
nothing wrong with being a tradesman. And I think it's what my dad did. He was a lineman and he's climbing telephone poles way into his 60s.
Wow.
So, I think stay fit, stay young, stay alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And so, we're going to transition now.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
since you have retired,
Mm-hmm.
how was it when you initially retired? Did you feel like a fish out of water? Like, how was it?
It was glorious,
Oh,
because I think I'd been like imagining not having to get up and go to work for a long time.
yeah,
And people always ask, what are you going to do when you retire? And I was always like, absolutely nothing.
yeah,
And it's going to be everything I hoped it could be.
yeah,
So, you know, no, I don't do nothing. I volunteer and, I dabble here and
yeah,
there. And I just got myself a little part time job, which is very focused on caring for animals, which I absolutely loved. And so, and it's good for me, physically and, emotionally.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Kat is a huge traveler. When I first met Kat, she was traveling all the time, and it's like you
Mm-hmm.
just never knew where she was going to be. I would send her a message, and she'd be like, "I'm in Poland."
Yeah. Yeah. I do love to travel. I think as you get older, it gets a little harder. Those long airplane rides
Oh
are
yeah,
really tough on the body. But,
yeah,
gosh, if we could just invent faster ways, teleport.
right.
I mean, who needs AI? Let's develop teleport technology.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That'd be good.
yeah. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I know that you own multiple homes.
I do. Yeah. My mom got a real estate license when I was still in high school. And I think that was the catalyst for that was we sold my childhood home, and I think the realtor made more money than my parents did
Oh no.
after owning that home for over 10
Oh my
years.
God.
And I think like light bulb moment for my mom, like I need to get into this industry.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she's been selling homes in Arizona for a long time. And she was really, really, influential in me to invest in property, you know, back when I was, really young, or when I was working overseas. Don't throw your money away on stuff. Invest it in property, and then you'll be set.
Yeah, that was a good lesson.
It was a really good lesson.
Yeah.
It was a really good lesson. And so, yeah, I think when I was 23, I was having a house built in Prescott.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah. And I owned that house for about 15 years and never really lived in it.
Yeah.
Even though it was beautiful and I would have loved to, but I
Yeah.
just knew like Prescott wasn't a place that I could live and work.
Yeah.
That's kind of more of a retirement area. There's no industry there to speak of other than hospitality. So, but yeah, when I sold my house, it was really nice because you can take your profit and invest it however you want to.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's how I end up with more houses, because I basically just trade one for another one.
Yeah.
And I got the Sonoyta house that Sandy lives in. I want to say I bought that in 2013? Sounds about right. And I was working on Fort Huachuca. And so it made sense to have a home that was within striking distance of the base so I could, commute to work every day. And I did that for about 10 years. Yeah. Pretty drive, by the way.
It's a gorgeous home. I mean, I just can't say enough good things about it. It's just, I love this house.
And the way Sandy ended up living there, which is really interesting, is I hired Sandy to do some paint work at the house. And then she was living in Tucson, and I was daydreaming of having a Tucson place, and she really liked my house. And I think as a joke, we were like, we should just switch houses. Mm-hmm. Let's just do a house. What do they call it?
House swap.
House swap.
Yeah.
And we had a giggle about it. And then I think in about 3 months from that giggle, it was reality.
Yeah.
She was moving into my house in Sonoyta, and I was moving into the house she was renting in Tucson.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it worked out great.
Yeah, I mean, all the stars and everything aligned for that. And
yeah,
I mean, I'm so incredibly grateful. I just love that.
I'm incredibly grateful that you were the perfect person to take care of that home, because it's a special place, but it's, in the sticks. So, if you aren't comfortable with critters or comfortable with,
just country life.
It's country life.
There's
right?
no fast lane there. There's
you gotta haul your own trash.
Yeah.
Luckily there's a private water well, but a lot of people are just not savvy about septic systems and all these other things. So I'm really grateful that you know what you're doing out there.
Yeah. Well, I try. If I don't know, I call Kat.
Yeah. Chat GPT or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So what I want to know is, like, if you could tell a young person, if you could give a young person advice, just any kind of advice about life, what would you tell them?
Oof. I would tell them that in life, there's no such thing as a mistake. I think we spend a lot of time fearing the unknown, worried about messing up somehow, making wrong decisions. But it's all going to be all right. So there's no such thing as a mistake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're religiously, your religion is Jewish?
So ethnically Jewish, half my family's Catholic. Mm-hmm. I would say I'm not even sure if I believe in a deity.
Yeah.
But open to ideas.
Yeah. I feel like after you've been to war, it's just really kind of hard to believe in anything.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case with me. Yeah. But I'll go into any house of worship.
Sure.
I've got no reservations about learning from each and every one of them.
Yeah.
But as far as like a personal philosophy or a personal belief structure,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I think it's just interesting how, especially like with Hispanic families, how, like, my dad was Roman Catholic. And my dad was out womanizing and drinking at the bar like every night of the week. And then on Sunday he was snoring through mass.
Right.
And
that doesn't mean he wasn't a good Catholic.
Right. But then then my mom, on the other hand, she was super spiritual,
Yeah.
and she just, my mom is European, like, Dutch,
Mhm.
Welsh, and she just believed in the land. She was
I
like,
love that.
the leaves don't ask for approval. They're not feeling insecure because there are bigger leaves or longer leaves around them. They're just leaves, and
That's
they're happy to be
beautiful.
a leaf, right?
That's almost like a, First Nation or Native kind of wisdom. I love
Absolutely.
that.
And she was just that way. It's so interesting. But she did dabble in like the woo woo kind of stuff. I remember
Yeah.
at one time she had gotten a Ouija board, and we were doing the Ouija board with our mom, and I don't know, what how it all went down, but the Ouija board spelled devil. And my mom had us out in the garden digging a pit so we could burn the Ouija board.
That's the best story
I
ever.
know. Yeah, and
Let's play with this. No, let's
I know.
burn it.
I'm gonna go in and get my children and we're gonna play Ouija.
And then we're going to do some pyrotechnics out here. Oh my gosh.
And then I was telling my friend yesterday that like when we were young,
Mhm.
and because my parents worked, my mom birthed 6 kids and 3 older kids, 3 younger kids, and so they didn't want to pay for childcare.
Yeah.
So we loved to camp. My mom would take us out to the lake
Mhm.
and drop us off. Like we were so in the camper with food and snacks and everything, and leave my 2 brothers and I
Yeah.
at the lake
In
all day
charge of
long.
other kids.
Yeah, while she went to work.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
she did that, our entire like spring break or summer break
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And we thought it was great. It was the best
Sure.
thing that ever happened to us. But if that happened today, CPS would have been out there picking
I
us up.
know, and it's really bizarre, and I think about that too. In this part-time job that I have now, the expectation is to kind of like have your phone in your hand all the time, and
Oh my
all of the
God.
scheduling and communications and everything is done with the phone in your hand.
Yeah.
And when you're of a different generation, the generation of playing unsupervised
Yeah.
and coming home from school,
Oh,
no
and being
parents
alone,
home,
right?
yeah, entertaining yourself,
Yeah.
getting yourself out of trouble,
Yeah.
and we didn't have cell phones, so
Yeah.
there was no like electronic leash
Yeah.
or even a way to call for help. You'd have to
Right.
go knock on someone's
And
door,
figure it out.
figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it is really kind of interesting how we've gotten away from kids
Life.
being a lot more self-sufficient.
Yeah. And life
Yeah.
skills.
Life skills.
Yeah.
And even like self-soothing skills, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure. They should be teaching that in school.
I know, but it's like you show me a 2-year-old and I'll show you 7 different screens that this 2-year-old has to look at,
Yeah.
just to drive from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So it doesn't inconvenience the parents at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't want to go on a tangent. I'm not a parent, so I shouldn't judge. But
I know.
I just,
Speaking of that,
but we long for the days of dangerous play, because
Yeah.
I think it's important.
It is important. Like,
Yeah.
break something, break a leg, or not a leg, but maybe an
Yeah.
arm or a wrist.
We all did,
Yeah.
and we lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have children. I don't have children, and you don't have children.
No.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I see how it can become all consuming for people who go down that route.
Yeah.
And I just never really wanted the inconvenience of it, if I can be honest.
Yeah.
It
Same.
just seemed like way too much of a lifestyle shift.
Yeah, that's a lifetime commitment.
Right. And this is maybe too dark, but the world is overpopulated, and we're all going to be fighting over resources soon.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, I also felt like it was kind of selfish.
Yeah.
To want to procreate and bring more souls into the planet, when I don't know necessarily if more people is the answer.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we need to be taking care of the people who are here.
Amen.
I was reading this thing, and
Yeah.
it said that there are more houses on the planet than there are people living in houses.
Hmm.
I was like, What the heck?
Yeah.
That is just bizarre to me.
Right.
Electric car.
Boy, is it. It looks like a marshmallow.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
but
cat.
no kids.
Right, for sure. Same.
And I love the four-legged kind. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, Kat, I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's
Appreciate you
great chatting
sharing.
with you.
I'm going to have you back too.
Oh yeah,
Do round two.
that's right.
Okay.
So much more to cover.